Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, mandating masks. Governor Newsom requires everyone to wear a facial covering. What the guideline means for you, coming up.
Taking away money from the Bakersfield Police Department. That's what one local group is hoping to do as the city finalizes its budget, where they say they want the money to go.
Celebrating the end of slavery in the U.S., today is Juneteenth, and there could be changes coming which would make the day a holiday. What some states and businesses are doing to celebrate, today is June 19th, 2020.
Good morning. It is 5 a.m. on this. Are you ready, everyone? It is finally Friday. We have made it through another week. And boy, I'm already noticing the differences in the temperature department. Kev, I woke up. It's beautiful outside right now, but definitely not as chilly as it was earlier this week.
Yes, we are definitely going to be warming things up. I'll tell you, it's Friday. Things slip my mind. If you're wondering, no tie. It's not because I'm doing casual Fridays now. It's just because, guess what? The tie was forgotten in the closet. So, yes, it is going to be warmer, which will be great, I guess, with no tie, because we are going to be in the 90s this afternoon and triple digits for your weekend. Yesterday, 94 degrees, so we were above the normal of 92. The record temperature yesterday, 106, and that was set back in 1945. Right now, we sit at 70 in Bakersfield, an east wind at 3 miles per hour. And take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast for you today. Starting out near 71, we warm it up pretty quickly by noon to 90, and we'll be flirting with the triple digits, 97 by 3. Into the Tehachapi area, a mild morning for you, 55 degrees right now, under no winds. We'll see a light breeze as we go throughout the day. As you can see here on our wind forecast, no major issues in the wind department through tonight. And then we take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast, and we're going to start out in the mid-50s, 82 at noon, and you'll be looking at the mid-80s this afternoon. Now, again, the weekend is going to warm up. I'll have much more on that in just a few minutes. Alex?
New this morning on Sunrise, a car ended up on top of a fire hydrant, water shooting all over the place. Now take a look at this new video. You can see the car slammed into the fire hydrant, breaking it and causing water to spill onto the road. That happened around 9:30 last night at the corner of Hosking Avenue and Granite Peak Street. Now, it's not clear what exactly led up to the crash. The driver of that car ran off, leading police on a chase. Now, he was arrested a short time later. BPD says it is considering the crash a DUI and a hit and run because police say the driver left an injured passenger in the car. That passenger was not seriously hurt. Well, now to the latest on the coronavirus here in Kern County. Public Health announced another death from COVID-19 and 78 new cases. The death toll stands at 58. Right now, over 1,000 people are infected and isolating at their homes. 69 people are in the hospital. Kern has now had 3,600 cases of COVID-19. 90% of those people that have tested positive for the virus have had negative results. Over 2,400 people have recovered, and about 680 tests are still pending. We will have an update on those numbers from Public Health in just a few hours. Well, several prisoners are still seeing active COVID-19 cases. Now, according to the CDCR, Wasco State Prison has the most cases with 9 inmates and 1 staff member infected. North Kern State Prison has 5 inmates and 4 staff members testing positive for the virus. Kern Valley State Prison no longer has any inmates with active infections, but it does report 4 staff members who tested positive. No inmates are currently positive in California or at the California Correctional Institute in Tehachapi, but both have at least 1 active case among the staff. Now, at least 2 businesses have shut down recently after workers tested positive. That includes the popular Italian restaurant Luigi's. Owner Gino Valpredo tells 17 News management found out about the case on Wednesday. He says all employees are being tested for COVID-19. Now, his plan is to reopen the restaurant on Tuesday. However, that deli will be open Saturday morning. And a local grocery store is back open one day after a worker tested positive for COVID-19. Save Mart on Hagman Road closed yesterday to disinfect and clean the store. Now it was back open at 8 o'clock yesterday morning.
Before you leave the house today, don't forget your mask. It is now mandatory in California. Governor Gavin Newsom issued a statewide mandate yesterday. In short, you must wear a mask at all times when social distancing is not an option. People now have to wear masks at the workplace, while receiving healthcare services, and while waiting for or inside public transportation or ride shares. The decision extends to outdoor spaces when physical distancing is not possible. Governor Gavin Newsom says he made the order because he's seen too many uncovered faces, which he says risks the progress California has made in fighting COVID-19.
Please wear face coverings. We are mandating it. Do justice. Protect yourself. Protect your loved ones. This virus has not gone away.
There are some exceptions to this new mandate, including people with medical conditions that prevent them from wearing one, children ages 2 and younger, and people exercising outdoors. Newsom's administration says not complying carries a misdemeanor charge and other possible financial penalties.
I expect there'll be overwhelming compliance. Not everybody. And when there are abuses, we'll do what we did on the stay-at-home order. We'll enforce through our regulatory frame. We'll encourage people to do the right thing, but there's social persuasion.
The governor's new order has the Bakersfield Homeless Center scrambling to get more masks for all of its residents. Cindy Lyday says right now there are 200 people staying with them and half are children. They're asking the community to donate adult or youth-size masks to make sure they have enough to go around. Lyday says they need at least double the amount of cloth masks so they can rotate wearing and washing, but they will also accept disposable masks. If you would like to donate, you can drop those masks off at the Bakersfield Homeless Center on 1600 East Truxton Avenue, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, if you have any questions or would like to donate money to buy masks, you can call 322-9199.
Juneteenth celebrations honoring the end of slavery in the U.S. are scheduled across the country today. The city of Philadelphia lit up to celebrate the day, and Mayor Jim Kenney established it as an official city holiday. In Washington, D.C., demonstrators will gather outside the African American History and Culture Museum and then march to the MLK and Lincoln memorials. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is pushing to make Juneteenth a New York State holiday. Nike, Twitter, and the NFL have given employees the day off, and General Motors will observe 8 minutes and 46 seconds of silence in honor of George Floyd. Even Google is showing its support of Juneteenth. The search engine changed its Google Doodle to show African Americans through history. The goal, they say, is to promote equality and justice, as well as remember the past struggles black people have had and have faced in America. As we just said, some companies and cities are making strides to honor Juneteenth, and that is the subject of this morning's 17 Interactive Feedback Poll. Today, we are asking you, should Juneteenth be considered a federal holiday? You can call or text us at 661-888-4617. Press 1 if you think, yes, it should be considered a federal holiday. 2 if not. You can also text, tweet, email, or Facebook your comments. Once again, our interactive feedback phone line is 661-888-4617. And coming up, we'll air some of your comments and have the first results from the poll at 5:30. Still ahead this morning on Sunrise, we may have a better idea of what happened to the Bakersfield 3.
New information out suggests one of those members was killed in a garage. We'll explain what witnesses had to say. We may now have the clearest picture yet of what could have happened to the Bakersfield 3. These last 2 days, 17's Jason Kotowski has been going over hundreds of pages of interviews, evidence, and other reports for the murder of Michael Holzenbeek. 2 people are accused in his death, Matthew Queen and Bailey Despot, another of the Bakersfield 3. Queen allegedly killed Holzenbeek with Despot's help, and the garage of co-defendant Matthew Van de Castle reportedly told investigators that Queen thought Holzenbeek stole a gun from him. He also suggested that Queen made Despot disappear. Holzenbeek and Despot went missing a month apart from each other in 2018. Holzenbeek's arm was found in the Kern River later that year. There's been no trace of Despot since. She's still charged in the case because her death has not been confirmed. The shooting of James Coulstad, the third member of the Bakersfield Three, remains unsolved. Different witnesses reportedly gave investigators different takes on what happened to Bailey and Micah. Now you can read that full story and see our past coverage on kget.com/Bakersfield3. Well, as the city of Bakersfield prepares to finalize its budget for next year, local movements are calling on the city council to redirect funds from the police department. Now, in about a week, the $628 million budget is up for vote. Of that, close to $120 million is set to go towards BPD, roughly a 10% increase from last year because of new funding from Measure N. If the budget is approved, the department is expected to add 44 positions over the next year, including an additional 29 sworn officers. There's now a movement called People's Budget BACO, calling for the city council to take some of that money from the police department and instead invest it in other parts of the community.
Over 40% of our general fund is spent on policing, but we're looking at where we've been in a housing crisis. We're looking at a worse housing crisis coming. We're not seeing a lot of money there. We're not seeing a lot of money going to our schools. We're not seeing a lot of money going to infrastructure. We're not seeing a lot of money going to the places that community in this moment and prior has already stated they would like money spent. But we keep seeing that the thing that a lot of people, specifically Black people and brown people and disenfranchised folks in this city have stated millions of times that they don't want money going to, is getting the bulk of funds.
The council is set to take up the proposed budget on June 24th. Well, Kern County firefighters worked for a full day to contain a brush fire. Now we can confirm that the Baker fire off Bina and Caliente Bodfish roads is 100% contained. Kern County Fire says 165 acres burned. Fire crews were called to the area around 6:30 Wednesday evening. It was contained about 24 hours later. All this comes as we officially begin wildfire season in Kern County. And with wildfire season underway, there are some things you should keep in mind. When there's fire, there's smoke, so when there's an active fire, be sure to take care of your lungs. Wildfire smoke contains particulate matter, which can trigger asthma attacks and aggravate chronic bronchitis. Now, this smoke can also increase the risk of heart attack and stroke. Taking care of your lungs is especially important during the COVID-19 outbreak. If you're exposed to dirty, polluted air, move inside as soon as possible. If you're already indoors, keep your doors and windows closed.
All right, Kat, thanks so much. Your time now is 5:31, and it has been a tough week for President Trump after two big losses at the U.S. Supreme Court. He is pushing ahead with a controversial rally in Oklahoma tomorrow night.
Our Washington correspondent Tracy Potts has the latest on what's ahead.
Celebration after defeat. President Trump's first campaign rally since the coronavirus hit is happening tomorrow in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
There's just a hunger for the rallies, and I enjoy doing them.
He'll put people at risk, as everyone's pointed out.
Health officials urged the president to reconsider crowding thousands of people, given Tulsa's 100% spike in hospitalizations just in the past week.
Am I going to wear a mask? No.
The White House says the campaign will do temperature checks and hand out masks, but they're not required. The arena is requiring a safety plan and social distancing, and the state Supreme Court is considering further restrictions. This after the U.S. Supreme Court handed Mr. Trump his second defeat in a week, allowing 800,000 young immigrants brought here illegally to stay in the U.S.
I'm pretty happy.
Wow, the decision's amazing. I am so happy. These kids,
their families. I feel for them.
The White House also still reeling from details of former National Security Advisor John Bolton's new tell-all book.
I don't think he's fit for office. I don't think he has the competence to carry out the job.
The Trump administration is asking a court to delay the book's release.
The court's immigration ruling may not resolve the situation for Dreamers. They left the door open for the Trump administration to try to shut down the program again. Tracy Potts, NBC News.